Writer's block. Hi, welcome to the Crates Motel. My name's Conan. In today's video, we're going to talk about something which is not massively headline grabbing. Not as headline grabbing as mastering your record in 3 minutes. This is a game-changing plugin. How to make a Grammy Award-winning radio-ready record with 4 stock plugins. But today we're going to talk about writer's block. Now, it is something that I do get asked quite a lot by students and other engineers and other musicians. How do you take a 4-bar loop, for instance, and turn it into a full 6 to 7 minute club record? Now, don't let anybody tell you there's a right or wrong way to do this. Writer's block is a very personal thing. And the 2 techniques that I'm going to describe today are 2 techniques which I've used for years to get myself out of that hole. So let's jump in. So here we are in Studio One, and this is a track which I've actually released now, but what I've done is I've taken it back to the original idea, so it's just an 8-bar loop. It's a French house, jacking house type sort of thing with a jazz funk sample of 8 bars, and then I've put some drums over the top of it. So let's just have a listen. So there are 2 techniques which I tend to turn to if I'm in that writer's block hole. The first one is a technique which people have been using for years, but I do still use it and it has helped me out of a few holes. And that is to take a record that you really like or a track that you know works really, really well and copy the arrangement. Now the thing is, because you're going to be using your own elements, it's not going to sound exactly like you've copied a song. It's just really going to be copying the peaks and troughs, the chorus, the verses, just the way that the track's arranged. So it is still your own creation, but you're just going to be inspired by other people's arrangements. And some people might disagree with me, but I don't really see anything wrong with that. People have been following the same template for pop music for absolutely years. You know, verse 1, chorus 1, verse 2, chorus 2, middle 8. Verse 3, fade out. It's a pretty standard technique that people have been using, and no one has turned around and said, oh, well, you copied that Beatles record, or, you know, it's just it's a template and you apply your own elements to it, but you've, I guess, taken inspiration from that arrangement. So with club music, obviously you tend to be looking at a track that's between 5 and 7 minutes. So you've got quite a lot of time that you need to fill up. And with dance music, it does tend to be peaks and troughs. So you want to look at having a nice build up for the DJ, have some breakdowns, have a main element, and then a nice outro for the DJ. You might be lucky enough to have a full song to work with, but often you have a 4-bar loop or a 1-bar loop even, and you need to make that interesting. So let's just say, for instance, I took, actually got this stored here, Music Sounds Better With You by Stardust. Now, you can see from the arrangement here that it has an intro which just has the sample played over and over again, hasn't got much bass in it. In fact, I don't think it's really got any bass in it at all. It's got no drum beats over the top of it, and it's very suspenseful, and it's a great DJ intro. You know, as soon as the DJ starts fading it in, people on the dance floor know what track it is, and they know when this drop is going to happen. You know, it's an absolute anthem. It's a classic. So people know this sample comes in, bang, that drops, goes on for a little bit. This isn't exactly in the right space, but it looks probably around about 40 bars, maybe 48 bars. Then we have a drop. The vocals are going to come in. Then we have another drop here later on. And then you basically have the play out. This would be carrying on the sample, and then it goes to a fade out. I think it's around about 7 minutes. 7 minutes pretty much. So I'm not saying that I've copied that arrangement exactly, but sometimes I've pulled up that particular track or another track, and I've just looked at the arrangement. I thought, right, okay, yeah, I can see I'm in, yeah, okay, so let's have the loop there, let's drop the beats in there, let's have a breakdown, another breakdown, you know, and it's just inspiring, and it just takes you out of that hole of this loop that you have into this. And to be honest, with the way that DAWs are nowadays, you literally just are just dragging blocks and painting a picture, I guess. and filling space up with these blocks and building your track up like that. It's not like in the, you know, in the days when I started, when everything was being printed to tape and I had to erase a track and then re-record it again, and I didn't like that, and then I had to bounce it to another track and add something else. You know, it really is so much easier today. I mean, people have it so easy compared to how it used to be when we were working with tape. And so this would be one technique that I would use. You can have, you know, I have a folder full of club records, hip hop records, pop records, jazz, anything where if I'm stuck and I need to get inspiration for an arrangement, I'll reach for this simple technique. You know, it's tried and tested. You know, it's about having a bunch of templates, I guess, that you can work to, you can be inspired by. And as I said, that is a technique which has helped me out of a writer's block hole on many occasions. So technique number 2 is what I call the sculptor's technique. And the reason why I call it that is because imagine you're a sculptor. Let's say you want to carve something out of wood or marble. You have a massive lump of wood or a piece of marble and like a block, and then you chip away at it and you end up with this amazing work of art, which is, you know, obviously what I'm aiming for with my music, and which is what I hope you're aiming for as well. So you start with a big lump and then you end up with this wonderful crafted piece. But what it also does is it also visually makes you think, almost fools you into thinking, right, I had 8 bars when I got up this morning and I turned my computer on, and now if I duplicate this, let's take just the drum beats and the loops. Now I've got this, I've got 7 minutes, a club record. And weirdly, visually, straight away, I think I'm almost out of my writer's block, because I had 4 bars, 8 bars, 1 bar, and now I've got a whole song. Obviously, I can't print this because it's just going to sound the same all the way through, and that's going to be a bit boring. So, but I've got my chunk, I've got my massive lump of wood, my massive lump of marble, and what I want to start doing now is chipping away at it and making it into, moulding it into the song that I want. Now, with a club record, for instance, we know we want a DJ intro. So let's say I get rid of the first 32 bars of the loop and we just have a drum beat. I don't want the shakers to come in straight away. I want a little bit of a build. So let's get rid of 16 bars of those. So for 16 bars drum beat, 16 bars shaker. And then when it gets to bar 32, just here, then the loop drops in. But that is going to sound a little bit boring if it just goes straight in. What I normally find is with a dance record, especially, with any song really, is about making peaks and troughs, is you need to take bits away to make the rest of it sound bigger when it comes in. So it's not necessarily always about adding stuff. Sometimes it's about taking stuff away, you know, drop the bass line out, drop the kick drums out, drop the vocals out, you know, whatever it takes to take it down a step, and then when it comes in again, bang, it sounds massive. But really, all I had was 8 bars. So I've got to bar 32 and I want a 16 bar breakdown. So I'm going to take out the snares. Let's take them out. There we go. They can disappear. The hi-hats can disappear. The kicks I'm going to leave in for 8 bars. And the shakers, obviously, they're going to come out as well. So we've come out of this intro, nice DJ intro, nice drum beat. But I don't want to give away the whole loop straight away. I want, you know, I want to build, I want to kind of like create some suspense. So here I've got my 8 bar loop. So why don't I chop it down to, let's just say 1 bar. Get rid of that, get rid of that. Duplicate that for 16 bars. And then we've dropped into this. Now Now already I can hear the song forming in my head. I'm thinking, right, if I stick a filter on that and take out the low end of it so that it's just a really trebly filter, and then I gradually bring it up, and then maybe the bar before I drop it down again so that there's no bass, so that when it kicks back in, it just sounds really, really big. You know, you're already, straight away, I'm out of this writer's block. Look, I've already formed like the beginning of the song. Look, the first part of the song's done, and that's the important thing. It's about getting started. It's about getting things rolling, because, you know, you can just sit there and listen to that loop over and over and over again, and you are literally going to be stuck in a loop. Once you break out of that loop, which is what this Sculptor's technique is really, really good for, then everything just starts rolling and you start forming the song in your head. You know, so I'm thinking, right, I've got that 1-bar loop. Yeah, that's great. Now, I want to do something a little bit different before it drops in. So why don't I flip it? Have it backwards. So it goes. It drops in. You know, it's a standard club thing to do. So then we might go for, say, 16 bars, maybe 32 bars. Let's go 32 bars. And then I'm going for another dropout, another breakdown. Take out that again. Take out the hats again. Take out the shakers again. And literally, why not? Let's go to the 1-bar loop again. Duplicate that. Let's flip the last one. And let's take out the kick drums. Let's take out the claps this time, so we're really breaking it down. Let's take the cymbal and reverse it so that it has a nice whoosh coming in just before backwards. There you go, break number 2. Now, it's the same as break number 1 virtually, but no one's really going to care. And I know that that works in a club, that style of breakdown, so why not do it twice? And maybe, let me think of something else. This can come out for the first 16 of that part, so that when it drops in, it takes it up to another level. You see what I'm doing? I'm chopping away bits to create the finished work of art. Let's take away these again here, so that this drops in after 16. And now I'm, what, nearly 4 minutes in. So really thinking about it, with this loop can probably go up to around about here. So it goes 4 times all the way around. Maybe some kind of smaller breakdown there, maybe take the shakers out again. And then we're looking at fade in terms of outro. Those don't need to be there. The sample can start getting filtered out round about here. And then I've got my DJ outro. And literally in, you know what, 5-10 minutes, I've gone from 8 bars, 4 bars, or 1 bar, whatever you've got to work with, and I've turned it into a 7-minute track. Now, then I have my little frilly parts here. These are the little bows that you put on, the little hat or the little pair of glasses or whatever, you know, and they're just fills. They're risers, they're drops, they can be booms, they can be, you know, like a little bit of vocal, or they can be a big reverb kick drum or a clap or something. Just all little things to drop in just to make it a little bit more interesting. And we can stick some of these in here. This is a this is a riser, so that can go there. And well, hell, let's just put it here as well. Why not? And this one can go here. And we've got this other one here. Sorry, that one can sort of go around about there. You know, like, I mean, obviously this is really rough, but straight away, you, like I said, you have gone from the writer's block of 1 bar, 4 bar, 8 bar, whatever bar you've got, or 1 verse or 1 line, and you have turned it into 7 minutes. I can save this now. I can walk away. I can have a little bit more thinking. I can think, or maybe I can add some elements. I can listen to a few more songs for inspiration. And then I come back and I open this up and I've nearly got my song finished in my head. And that is what's so inspiring. And that's why I really, really like this technique, because it takes you from nowhere in a loop, stuck in a rut, to what visually looks like a finished record. And that can be really inspiring. And then you just chip away and you end up with this wonderful work of art. So there you have it. Now, I don't want to imply that it's easy to make a track that sounds amazing. that it's easy to make a wonderful work of art. You know, we can all have a block of wood put in front of us and be given a hammer and a chisel and chip away at it, and it's not necessarily always going to come out looking great. But the art of getting out of a writer's block for me is about getting stuck in, about getting things rolling, about getting yourself out of that mindset where you are literally stuck in a loop. And the techniques, the two techniques which I've talked about here today, for me, they work because they get me out of that rut. They get me out of that mindset. And that's why I've used them repeatedly over the last 35 years. So I really, really hope that that's helped some of you out there. It's a horrible place to be, writer's block. It can be really, really depressing, and it can really drag you down. And, you know, I've testament to that. I've got hard drives full of 1-bar loops, 4-bar loops, which if I really actually took the time, stuck them on the desk in front of me, pretended they're a big lump of wood and chopped away at them, there could be some great stuff in there. There could be some hit records, who knows? So anyway, thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more mixing and mastering tutorials and reviews. This is the Crates Motel. My name's Conan. Till next time, be good to each other and stay safe.